Hey guys, it's Milan here. I haven't made a video in a long time and I'm very aware of that, but this just had to be talked about. So recently, the longest running comic book series of all time has finally ended in The Amazing Spider-Man. If you haven't already known, something really bad and crazy happened at the end of Amazing Spider-Man number 700. This comic right here. If you don't want to know what happens, please stop watching right now. In Amazing Spider-Man number 700, something happens that infuriated fans worldwide. Peter Parker ended up dying and Dr. Octopus took over his body with some scientific mumbo-jumbo, and now he is Spider-Man and Peter Parker is dead in the body of Dr. Octopus. What I hate about this though is that Peter doesn't go out valiantly or heroic whatsoever. Instead of sending on everyone's favorite character that Stan Lee and Steve Ditko worked so hard on over the years, his death literally falls on deaf ears as nobody knows that Peter Parker is dead and that Dr. Octopus has taken over his body. I understand that it's an unfair situation, but come on, this is Spider-Man. He's everyone's favorite character and I grew up cherishing this guy. Like, I love everything that Spider-Man stands for. I grew up loving Peter Parker because he was the glowing beacon of hope for all the unjust and suppressed citizens of society. He was a testament to all outsiders and exemplified that he could be his own rock in a world that is constantly trying to drown you. And the way he dies doesn't just insult fans worldwide, it insults the very core of the character itself. The fact that at the end of the comic, Dr. Octopus says that he will be a superior Spider-Man to Peter Parker and be better in every known way possible is sort of an insult to the character on every level of what he stands for. Dr. Octopus cannot be a better Spider-Man than Peter Parker because Peter Parker is Spider-Man. He's not Spider-Man. That's just not the way it goes. That's like saying James Rhodes could be a better Iron Man than Tony Stark, and you'd be stupid to think that. Because Iron Man exists because of Tony Stark, there's a reason why these characters are who they are in the comics. So going into January with the Superior Spider-Man #1 is a tough pill to swallow for fans worldwide. It really is. Like, I was cool with Peter dying in the Ultimate Comics version of Spider-Man, because that was just some, like, bizarro Spider-Man. It wasn't really, like, the main Spider-Man. I didn't really care that he died. I'm not saying that that comic doesn't matter. I'm just saying that it didn't matter to me as much of him dying because he wasn't the main Peter Parker, and I actually find Miles Morales pretty cool as a character in that comic. But I was totally good with it as long as Peter Parker in the main continuity was still Spider-Man. And now that's not happening either. Now Peter Parker's just not Spider-Man across everything now for like no reason. Let me put it to you in a different way to describe what I mean about this all. Imagine if Marvel Comics was a restaurant and Spider-Man was a very well-made dish that everyone loved to order because it tasted great and never let them down. Now imagine you went to go eat at your favorite restaurant and ordered the Spider-Man spaghetti because you know it's really good. Suddenly upon being given your food, you're handed a hamburger with roasted calamari in it. You're confused by why they changed such a delicious meal and you ask the waiter why they would do such a thing. The waiter might say, oh, you know, to shake things up a bit, or we were getting tired of making the same thing over and over again. Either way, you're confused, annoyed, and disappointed that they changed something that didn't need changing at all. You still paid for it, but it doesn't help with leaving a bad taste in your mouth. Now you're questioning if it's even worth going back to the restaurant if you can't even get what you always came in for. But you know, in about 6 months to 1 year's time, everything should return to status quo. At least you hope so. This is how I view the decision, really. I'm starting to think the influence of grittiness and darkness from movies like The Dark Knight and stuff is really just influencing everything on a level that it shouldn't be. Why does Spider-Man have to be darker than he already is? I mean, isn't that why we have the black suit to begin with? Look at the new Spider-Man movies that just came out. It's a retelling of something that didn't need to be retold whatsoever. It's not a bad movie, not by a long shot. But the film relies a little too much on trying to be gritty and dark like the Nolan Batman films when it doesn't have to be. The Avengers is the only comic book movie this year I can completely say I actually love because it celebrated that quirkiness of comics without losing what it is, a comic book. What I'm getting at is that Spider-Man doesn't need to be a dark and brooding character like Batman or something. The point of Spider-Man is that he's the kind of character that holds so much regret and sadness within him, but ascends above it all with his heroic perseverance. After the death of Uncle Ben, Gwen Stacy, Captain Stacy, among others, he's lived through it all and refused to back down from being the hero that society needs. It's that beautiful balance that makes the character so legendary in his 50 years of existence. I'm not trying to bash Dan Slott or anyone involved with the book. I'm still excited about the Superior Spider-Man. I don't want this to come across as me saying, oh, Superior Spider-Man is going to suck. No, I'm actually excited to see what they're going to do with it. But it doesn't change the fact that I'm still mad about it. I'm not trying to say don't go out and boycott and don't buy it or something like that. I'm just trying to give you guys my opinion about what this book means to me and what this has done to Peter Parker. That's it. That's all I'm trying to say. But it doesn't mean I can't be a little cautious or, God forbid, you know, angry that they killed my favorite favorite character in like literary existence, there are a few questions that are eating away at me. They're just super annoying. Like, first off, Dr. Octopus. If he's Spider-Man, and let's say theoretically down the line, Spider-Man becomes Peter Parker again, and Dr. Octopus somehow becomes Dr. Octopus again. If in like a year or 2 years time, Dr. Octopus is back to his nefarious ways and he's like fighting Spider-Man again in some like dingy place, then this is all for nothing. Because it'd be stupid if Dr. Octopus went through all of this being Spider-Man, you know, seeing Mary Jane, Aunt May, and all these other things, and then eventually Peter's just Spider-Man again and he's just some evil guy again who's like, oh, I gotta fight Spider-Man again. That would be stupid, not minus the fact that his body's a shriveled up prune that's dead. So again, that'd make no sense. But then again, this is comic books and he probably has like a clone body somewhere stupid like that, because then again, he did take over Peter's body with a freaking Octobot shot to the back of his skull. It just feels like this is a stunt for money and drama, and they're just trying to garner media attention to sell comics. And I get it, you guys have to do that, and this has happened in the past, and it's annoying to say the least. Like, this is not new as someone else being Spider-Man. If I remember correctly, that comic was called Kraven's Last Hunt. And that comic made sense because since Kraven was dying and all those things, and that was really cool. Like, I just can't see Dr. Octopus coming back from this and just becoming a bad guy again. I mean, if he does, maybe they'll have to explain it, but as of right now, it's just really stupid. It really is. Like, the only way I can accept this, like, Freaky Friday idea that they have going on, also because Dan Slotty has one more trick up his sleeve, and I'm hoping what I'm about to say is that. I'm hoping that what ends up happening is Spider-Man's not actually dead. He is still Spider-Man, but part of his psyche is Dr. Octopus in a sense. So like Spider-Man and Dr. Octopus are fighting over the body of Peter Parker. That could be cool. But if it just turns out that Peter Parker is just dead and that's it, no, that's kind of dumb. But I mean, this has happened before in comics. Captain America got shot, and look at him now. He's totally fine. Remember when Human Torch sacrificed himself to save the Fantastic Four? Now he's in a spaceship full of kids on like a National Lampoon family vacation in space. It's just all bananas, and I think comic books are better than this, and they can make more original stories, and all they really need to do is have more new villains, more new characters, without removing the most integral part of the entire comic book, which is its hero. Like, Superman died, but apparently the laws of human death don't apply to him, and then Batman died for a little bit or something. But see, at least with Batman, it makes sense if he doesn't want to be Batman. Because if Batman doesn't want to be Batman and he wants to go and like catch up on his soap operas or like go on vacation or something, he has an extended family of characters that can take up the mantle for him. He has Nightwing, he has Red Hood. Red Hood's a little crazy, but still. He has all the Robins and stuff, he even has Damian to an extent. He has characters that can, you know, go up and like take care of Gotham while he's gone. But Spider-Man really doesn't have that. I mean, he has Scarlet Spider. The Scarlet Spider is like, you know, no. He also has like Daredevil and stuff, but I'm talking about there is nobody who is Spider-Man other than Peter Parker as the mantle of Spider-Man. That is who Spider-Man is. That is it. I guess what I'm trying to say is the bottom line is I don't want anyone else as Spider-Man but Peter Parker. And that's my opinion on this media shitstorm that Marvel has created right now. Probably one of the things that just eats away at me right now, just kind of thinking about it. If Dr. Octopus in the body of Spider-Man has sex with Mary Jane, is that technically rape because she doesn't know it's Dr. Octopus? And he knows that he's not Peter Parker, and he's been aware of that? Like, is that rape? Like, see, that just rubs me the wrong way. Like, I really hope that doesn't happen. But those kinds of things annoy me. I don't know, my mind right now is like full of Jackie Chan's doing that. It's just, this infuriates me, it excites me, and I don't exactly know what to think about it until I read The Superior Spider-Man. But as of right now, I am more mad than I am excited about it. I'm gonna miss Peter Parker, even though he'll be back in about 6 months. Anyway, guys, that's my video about The Amazing Spider-Man number 700 and all the other stuff that goes along with this. Like, comment, subscribe, all those kinds of things. I really want to know what the fans think about this, because really, guys, it comes down to us if books like this exist and live on. So, and until next time, guys, have a glorious day.